evening. Welcome to Damaged Us D&D. It's Sunday, so it's the investigators. Well, we are not in any trouble whatsoever. We're having a lovely sleep. Probably. Martin.
Well, sleep has been had. You guys had made it to the top of the mountain and found the entrance way to the path down to the fire giant city deep in the mountain. A short way into the path, you come up against a couple of creatures who weren't happy with you being there and began to fight you before a fire giant by the name of Dorgan kind of intervened, stopped the fight, told the Yeti to back off, told you guys to come through to his house. Because he's quite fond of those Yeti that have nested there. There were lots of conversations about what's happening down in the city, and Dorgan was kind enough to give you some information about Chikoto, how she came in some point 50 odd years ago, challenged the previous chief, killed him in battle and became the chief, and has since taken the fire giants deeper into the mountain, or at least isolated them from the rest of the country. Nice chats were had, relaxing was done, and you guys slept the night away in Dorgan's little hut, doing your best not to get stepped on. But I think we made it through the night, and we wake up in the morning with everyone having got a long rest. I think we did that last week.
Yep.
And it's morning. So, over to you.
Right, so the plan was to go in with Dorgan's cart. Is that right?
I think so.
I see.
And what we will do from there, we will have to find out.
Right. Because I can't help thinking that we should maybe just talk to Chikoto to try and explain what is happening to the outside world.
Your plan, though, requires Chikoto to want to talk to us.
That is true. But still, I'm sure it'll be fine. Once she meets with us and we can talk to her, it'll be absolutely fine. We'll be able to convince her to come with us and do the thing that she does.
Yes. You're right, when she meets with us, she'll absolutely want to kill us and put an end to the problem.
No, that's not what I said.
That's what I heard.
It should not need to be said, but to challenge Chikoto would be a bad idea. Get that out of any heads on this.
We could challenge to stall her, you know? I mean, Mazdak can speak relatively quickly. So he could just be talking while someone's dancing around the arena with her. That could work.
There's no guarantees that will work.
It's a chance if she won't give us an audience.
I only mentioned it as a last resort.
No.
Carl will look directly at Bonya.
There's also the opportunity that I may be able to speak with Chikoto before we actually go down and try and sneak through fire giants.
How would you do this?
I'd be able to magically send her a message.
Well, yes, we could all do that.
Well, maybe that could be good, couldn't it, though? Saying that we're here to
might
speak.
as well just post up at the front gate instead of trying to sneak in at the city. I mean, if you want to pre-warn her that we're coming, then sure, but...
Well, I'm not sure if it's pre-warning that we're coming. I think it's more that we need to convince her to see us. So being more open may be a better idea.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe, she came here for one reason.
Well, I suspect she
which-
came here to get away from her god.
Yes. Either that or maybe death, but it didn't happen. Being the champion.
Yes, that's brilliant idea. We shall message her now and endanger the life of the giant who gave us refuge last night. Brilliant. Yes.
I don't have to fill all of that message in, do we? It's maybe we're on
Well-
our way. Would you grant us an audience?
I think
I would personally prefer to put the message as, we're already in your city. Can you grant us an audience?
that's one. I suspect what we do is we get into the city via the means we discussed last night. We then hold up somewhere. Then we message to say that we're in town, just drop by for an audience. Could we have a discussion? That sort of thing.
Maybe,
If someone comes to a place like this and locks themselves and the rest of them away, they're not looking to have visitors.
Exactly why we get into the city first.
We also have to consider that we have been told that we are being taken to other fire giants who dislike Mikoto's rule.
And we're trying to entice her back with things that she's been trying to avoid.
yes, I don't
This is
think
going to be complicated.
the argument for saying that it's the end of the world maybe not be the one that somebody who wants to die wants to hear.
Okay. So
But we do not know her state at all. We would have to see the city before we can make any judgments like that.
I know you were all told to find her, but what for? Was there a reasoning? Did she have a magical sword or something what could help us?
I do not know. It is something that has been told of. Was told of Dalen and was told to us by several.
We've been tasked to seek out the immortals. Since there are only 3 of them in this world, Dakota is the one possibly the most amenable and easiest to find, which is to say that it's not. But here we are.
Considering that one of them serves the Dream Lord and could likely do any kind of things to disappear, Jakoto feels the most physical one to find.
Well,
Just complicated.
I think we should make our decisions then once we're in the city. That's the first one we're
Yes.
making, isn't it?
We get into the city, we see what the situation is.
Mazdak just flips his book open, babs his quill into the air, grabs it, grabs a Bible and writes in his book.
That will never get old, Mazdak. I love that every time.
Isn't it just the best?
Is Dorgon here with us? Is he in the room?
He'd wandered out the front, and you can see him just sort of milling about. Left you guys talking.
Yeah.
It's
Once
quite-
Carl had said his bit, he would have wandered outside too and started chatting to him about sort of what type of smithing that he wanted to go into and things like that, and just sort of just general chit chat about fire giant smithing.
Yeah, he's happy to engage in conversation. He's quite fond of shields rather than the offensive stuff. But yeah, you can have a chat with him.
Cool.
I know you're dead set against it, Bernia, but if we cannot approach Dakota through other means, calling her out might be the only solution. It's not something I want to do, trust me, as much as it would be amusing to fight a god of sorts. I know that it is a fight that I cannot win.
Exactly. Should be a resort that we do not need to go to.
But if it's that or the end of the world, what else can we do?
We would not have been set on this mission if there was not a chance.
There's always a chance.
You should know better than anyone that sometimes sacrifices have to be made.
Yeah, I think Sasha say some good true words there. Somebody who came here for possibly death to get away from it all. Sacrifice may be the only way we can get through to her.
Okay. We go to the city. In the cart, hidden. We find somewhere to hide out. We message Jakoto. We explain to her that there is something trying to get into this realm. The time rifts, as we've been told, are the punches of this thing trying to get into our world. The gods, including Vastro, Jakoto's god, are scared of this thing. Now, we propose this as a challenge for Jakoto. She is the only one that can save us. Because she is one of the immortals. And if she saves the gods, or is instrumental in saving the gods, how can Vastro deny her requests?
He served the god for unknown years and was never given her wish.
Did you not just listen to what I said?
I listened.
Good. Then you will have seen that this is... we're giving her, A, a physical challenge, which is what she likes, yes? And
Yes.
B, we're giving her the opportunity to have a hold over Vastro. If she saves his ass, he will owe her the favour. The favour she can ask for is death. I think you'll agree this is a genius plan.
The only concern I can see is that Nagale has told me that Vastro has turned from this.
Yes, but Vastro
Issue.
is scared of it, as are the rest of the gods.
I do not disagree with your logic, Mustak.
Well, it
I
would
just
be
know
very
that
foolish
gods
to do
can
so.
be fickle things, fickle creatures.
Look, gods are creatures like anybody else. Okay? They are fallible. They don't know everything. If they knew everything, then we wouldn't be in this mess. Correct?
I would very much have to disagree with you.
Absolutely not. If
The gods are scared.
you're not here, you're out talking to a giant. If gods are all-knowing everything, and why are they using us to do their dirty work? Again.
Because it amuses them.
Exactly. They are creatures that can be amused by us. They are fallible creatures. They are scared creatures. They are wanting us. Other gods are asking us to tell Jakoto to come and fight this thing.
Again, I do not disagree with you. I just think that sometimes you have to consider it from other angles.
Which angles would you like to consider it from?
That
From inside
gods
the
can
city.
sometimes be a bastard.
Let us go.
What is the... what, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. Surely this is a fairly straightforward quest. Go and talk to Jakoto. Convince her of the need for help. That's it. There are no other angles. All I was proposing was we tell Jakoto the facts. This creature, this thing, this entity is trying to get into the universe, and the gods are scared of it. She saves the universe from the gods, from this thing that scares the gods. The gods owe her a favour.
What if she decides to help us?
Then we let Sasha kill her. Kill Jakoto. Because that's what Sasha really wants to do, is to get involved in a fist fight with that she knows she can't win for some reason. Some sort of death wish going on there.
I
And
do
what
not
else
have
could
a
I-
death wish.
Let's.
We can talk and plan as much as possible. But that will not get things done. Let us go and be ready.
Okay. I'm just telling you that that's the best plan.
It may change as we learn more.
It may change.
We
as
do
we
not
learn
know
more.
what things are
But
like
the
in
only
the city.
the only way
fully.
we can know more is to go ahead with a plan. We need to talk to Chikoto to know more. This is the best way to get to talk to her.
And let us enact it.
To the city we go then.
Indeed.
So there are a few ideas kicking about, but no definitive one.
Oh, Mazdak has a definitive idea.
Okay. Well, when you're ready, you can eat whatever rations you've got. Get yourselves ready for the day, and
Remove that level of exhaustion.
yeah,
That should have happened with your long rest.
yeah. If you've taken your long rest, that should have.
Oh yeah, no, just reminding people,
Yeah, cool.
just in case anyone hadn't clicked the button.
So when you're all ready,
Yep.
Dorgan will happily say, "Well, let's get going, shall we?"
Absolutely.
I'll be bringing the cart with me so we can use it when we get to the city, but feel free to walk the way down.
Of course. Although you may walk a little quicker than we do, as your steps are slightly longer.
I will do my best to just keep it slow for you.
Thank you.
Let's not make him do that. I'm the kind of person who can walk faster than most people because I'm all long less, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I've got to slow down again.
Yeah. So as you begin the descent, you're hitting Bernia. Just saw a 24 to hit. Up.
Oh, that was my test roll earlier.
That was a while back.
Good one, D&D Beyond. Yeah, so you begin the walk. It is a reasonably wide pathway, sort of a decent 40 feet and even taller than that. So it doesn't feel particularly claustrophobic. It is dark down here, so anyone without dark vision may want to light a torch or at least stick a hand on the shoulder of someone who can see. Or dancing lights, whatever's your flavour.
Yep.
And you
Dancing
begin
lights.
to walk. Dorgan was very impressed with the light show.
Cool.
But he does give a warning about turning them off when he says so.
Oh, absolutely. You tell me when they need to be turned off, and
We've got a bit of a walk yet, but it's a good idea to have some light on the way. There will be long stretches where the path is kind of uplit from the magma streams we'll be following.
that'd be interesting.
It's very interesting, actually. And there's a flicker of Mazdak in the tone of his voice there. It's very interesting, actually, that inside the city there is an upwards plume of magma that goes through the center of the city.
Awesome.
That comes from the magma pool that the city sits on. And with the magic, the help of the cloud and the storm giants, there's some magic there to funnel the magma up into a cavity above the city, and then it flows through the mountain all the way down, and that is what is used at various points for the smelting of metals.
That's actually very interesting. I'm very glad you told me that. Thank you. I'd like to see that. That would be very interesting.
As soon
Would
as
you
we
agree,
get to the
Thaddeus?
city,
Thaddeus.
Did he?
No.
Sorry.
So
Sorry, I was
wow.
that sneeze completely took it out of me. I was like panicked because I didn't know where to mute from, and I ended up enlarging Nat's picture. Sorry, go say that again. Sorry.
Probably best that I didn't have a camera on then, because you really don't want to see that up close.
Did you catch what Dorgan was saying just
About
about
the Magna River plume
Yeah,
of the city.
Basically, Mazdak was saying that is incredibly interesting. I'd really like to see that. Wouldn't you, Thaddeus?
I was actually thinking that, but my brain just had a brain fart.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
instance?
it sounds fantastic. I'm also eager to just, if we can, peer over the edges on this walk as well.
Technically, couldn't you use the magma to heat the city itself? So you'd never have any energy problems.
We don't.
Excellent. And I assume that sort of waste disposal and is not a problem. Just poof into the magma. Awesome. Sort of a self-sustaining energy city.
I've never thought about it, but I suppose that's probably exactly what happens.
Well, I wonder why more cities aren't built on volcanoes. Possibly the explosion.
Yes. And the heat. It is
Yes,
extremely uncomfortable for any...
Indeed, but
No.
what you could do is you could diffuse the heat. You use some magical thermodampeners, as it were. Actually, I'll start scribbling in my book about thermodampeners.
How
that I
how
just
hot
made
is it
up.
down there, Dorgan? Like,
It's 112 bargons. Roughly.
Awesome.
so hot then.
Way
Well,
more than the 50 or so bargons we had earlier.
Yes, compared to outside of the mountain where, where we sort of met, it's extremely hot.
So I'm struggling here, guys. I've just got used to the unit of Mazdak, and now this other one has just thrown me off completely.
But don't worry, Borgons is purely a fire giant measurement of heat. You won't need to know that outside of this mountain.
But
Right.
good too,
Okay,
nonetheless.
interesting.
So, you continue to toward the path. At some point, out from sort of a side wall, or you can see it coming from further away, but a stream of slow-moving magma just comes out of the wall and into a channel down the side of the path that you're currently heading on, and you begin to just walk side by side with this magma stream.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Probably end up moving further to the other side of the path because hot.
Yes.
Certainly, Dorgon himself moves to the other side and just enjoys the heat again.
That's very clever. I wonder how it doesn't cut a deeper channel. Kral, you work with heat and metal and things. There must be some kind of engineering that's happening here. Unless, of course, it's magic, but I don't think it is.
Would I know roughly about the passage of rock?
I mean, you never worked in smithing from the heat of a volcano.
But I suppose I would be able to extrapolate when you pour molten metal into a mold, why the surrounding mold doesn't then melt.
Absolutely would know that reason.
Yeah.
And if you, the player, know of that reason and want to tell the rest of us, I'd certainly be interested to hear.
Oh god, I know off the top of my head it's sort of the mold itself will be made from a much more sort of brittle metal, and it will have a much higher melting point than what's been poured into it. And obviously the metal that's poured into it rapidly cools when it's not being actively heated. So it doesn't. I think it's more a case of it doesn't have enough time to melt the mold, as such.
Cool.
Well, I suppose with the whole rock thing, we could sort of, it'd help if we had a geologist here, wouldn't it?
It would. It would.
Different rocks have different melting points. Magma can exist within layers of rock without melting through it fully, and it will always prefer areas of weakness, say, I don't know, a gully that goes alongside a pathway. So it may just be that the surrounding rock is a lot denser and a lot harder to melt than the magma itself.
Cool.
Just melts at a higher temperature.
Don't see that often, do you? The DM putting players under pressure for a question.
When we've got specialties, we might as well hear them.
No. When you put it under pressure, it gets harder to melt it.
Becomes diamonds.
What was that?
And becomes diamonds.
So yes, plenty of interesting discussion about the flowing magma and whatnot, as well as some talk of smithing itself. Marius, while this is going on, you've sort of, I don't know, just sort of retreated. Everything else is muted around you, and you can hear these two voices just talking to you, seemingly independent of each other, or at least the Everburn can't hear Amanita, but she's sort of talking to him through you, and just this nattering going on. We're nearly there, and we'll take him. And yeah, you
Doesn't
all
drive you
know.
mad at all.
You all notice, or maybe not. Maybe you're used to ignoring Amarius enough that he's very quiet, staying at the back.
You probably see me like shaking my head every now and again, like I'll mutter under my breath, sort of. You two shut up.
Everything okay there, Amarius?
Never better.
Ever better? Ah, I suppose. Fire wizard. Magma. Feels like home, doesn't it?
I'm a long way from home.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
A long when from home. Yeah. Continuing on down the path. It seems to twist and turn like a twisty turny thing. If
Bit like a switchback.
No, not
Inspiration point for the DM.
And yeah, mostly it's going down, but occasionally it sort of rises up, levels off, moves down. It's going all over the place. Something mined out, and Dorgan says that generations ago, hundreds of years ago, this was all mined out so we could get access to the magma. But had to keep it at a steady, even path and avoid certain bits couldn't be mined through because it was too hard. And so I'm giving you a full, detailed history of the inside of this mountain.
Yeah, Mazdak would be paying rapt attention.
Yeah, same as Thaddeus too.
Yeah, as we descended, Kral would have tasked Kez sitting up on the top of his shell to start making like a rudimentary map of where we were going and logging the turns as we descended.
Okay. You can certainly do that. Pardon me. Yeah, I suppose that's just to map out where eventually you end up knowing the top-down map of it. There are no offshoots or anything that you've seen. so it's not like you'd get lost if you were here on your own. That
How
would
long?
Sorry, go ahead.
How long is this walk, Dorgon?
We've still got to travel for about 3 more Durpans. I don't know why I've fallen into this.
Fire drones, just
No, brilliant.
They just use their own units.
yeah, they're like Americans, aren't they? Just their own whole special units.
So, how many Durpans have we travelled so far then?
Yeah, Borgans and Durpans were used by the rest of the world a long time ago, but everyone else has since moved on to more reasonable methods.
Like Mazdacs.
Like Mazda. No, you've been travelling for an hour or two at this point, and he says at his normal pace it takes him about 8 hours, but you're going a bit slower than his normal pace.
I'm really glad you used hours there, as I really thought me asking that question I was have to use some brain power to Durpans to hours.
Don't worry, this is D&D, not brain time.
Oh, so a few more hours then.
Would it be easier if we got in the cart and then we wouldn't slow you down?
It would certainly be easier on you, yes.
Right. Of course, yes. You'd
But,
have to get in the cart, would you?
Yes.
I'll wait for you.
Well, maybe halfway
Should we
there.
expect any danger on this route? Anything that may present a threat to us at our size?
No. There are dangers deeper than the city. That is where most of the hunting is done. Some of the creatures down there, you would believe. But up here, no, there is nothing living.
Good to know.
On this walk, what we've done so far, just looking around and the even flow of magma, like beside us and everything. Does anything about this seem magical, or does it seem all natural to be a volcano?
Make an Arcana check then, if you're checking magicalness.
18.
18. You suspect there may be a slight bit of magic that's used in the directioning of the magma streams. And Dorgan had talked about it being shot up in a column above and then let to trickle down. It just got redirected a little bit on the other occasion. That's about the only magic that you can see. It was mined by hand and whatnot.
Okay. So, Mazdak.
Yes.
He says this is Jazz is writing a message. Your pen, your book, very special to you. I'm just so intrigued by it. It's
Indeed.
Is it like a never-ending page book where you can just keep writing in it?
No.
Man of your knowledge, though. Person of your knowledge, sorry, is must have loads of things written in there.
Well, I have a lot of books. Just this one is special.
Oh, well, yes, you said it was special before, and that's why I just assumed that maybe it was just an endless like stream of pages.
No.
That would have been quite exciting. Well, maybe that's something we can come up with. Never-ending book.
I mean, I don't think that's a really good idea. Because books, by their very nature, are tomes on particular subjects. So you wouldn't want a book on baking and a book on the dark art of demon summoning, for instance, to be the same thing. That would be that would get very confusing. You could, baked goods that would try to take over the world. alternatively, hell could be staffed with gingerbread men.
Yes,
Do you
I
see
suppose.
my
I
point?
suppose. Yes, I do. I was just thinking, I'm just so intrigued by it. Every time you get your quill out and start writing, it's just yes.
Yes, indeed, I do write quite a lot in my book. Notice Mazdak just sort of takes his book and just hugs it a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I do.
So I was trying really hard to come up with a baked demon pun, but I just
Sorry.
couldn't put it together.
I love the idea of the fiery minions of hell being gingerbread men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've all got the voices of Gingerbread Man from Shrek. Okay.
Drop buttons.
So yeah, you continue on down. At some point, Dorgan warns of a large magma chamber that's coming up. There is a path through it. You don't need to worry, but it will get hot in there. This will be the sort of level of heat that you might expect in Greneveg, so this might be a good test for you.
Yes.
But we will be able to navigate through. This is an extreme amount of magma, but it's also a good opportunity for you guys to see if you can cope with the heat within the city.
Right.
Will be well appreciated. Armor can be difficult in heat.
Yes.
That's why I don't do armor.
Hmm.
Just gets in the way.
Yes, it can. Just see the Muffin Man gif there. Yes, it can. The fire giants obviously are very good at forging armor that is heat resistant, so it doesn't really bother us.
Perhaps we will have to invest whilst we are here.
Well, we'll see who you get to speak to, whether you are just sneaked in and out.
Osok.
Hopefully out as well.
I doubt they'd have any ready-made ones for your size, Bernier, either.
Very true. Though, then Benny motions to the vine and root made armor that she's wearing, because Nagale did something.
Yeah. That is interesting. It looks like chain, but it is vines. Do you find that is protective at all?
It is as strong as chain. It is a blessing from my god.
Hopefully it's more fireproof than it looks.
I am hoping so too.
Yeah. And as you carry on walking, you begin to see that the floor continues to descend down, but the roof kind of starts to ascend up a little bit as the height of the cavern that you're walking in opens up. And then the width of it opens up as well as you come into full view of this magma chamber. Not a full magma chamber, that would be full. But there is the path that you're on currently goes through, but there are these large ponds of magma really filling this chamber with quite a dry heat.
Is it tolerable?
Just about. It's like when you first step into a steam room, or a sauna, I should say, because it's dry. When you take that first breath, it kind of just catches you a little bit, and it takes you a second to adjust to it. But as you do, and you begin to steady your breathing back to normal, you kind of realise that this is uncomfortable. This is really uncomfortable, but I think you're okay too. to stay in this for a while at least.
Except for Amarius, who makes it feel like it feels like home.
Amarius, he's been very quiet, but yes, you, Amarius, are pretty unperturbed by this.
Yep.
You, in fact, have a 4 times resistance to fire, or at least you have 2 reasons to be fire resistant.
Yeah. I'm immune. I'm not immune.
You're not.
You'd think 2 resistances would make an immunity, but
Yeah. However, Amarius, as you enter this chamber, you feel your finger burn, that ring finger, and you look down and you can see the ring. It is on your finger again, but it is burning. You're not actually taking damage. It's just feels like there's a fire on your hand. And you hear that voice in your head as it says, "Yes, Imarius, throw in the ring, throw it into the fire."
I thought I got rid of you.
Do as I say,
Why?
because if you don't, you will die here.
I don't think I will. I mean, you're so close, aren't you? You could almost touch it, but you can't.
You will die for this. And the rest of you turn to see Imarius erupt in flames.
That's new.
Very new.
Remember, I'm
Could we
in
hear?
flames.
Could we hear him talking, or was that in
You
the?
could hear him, yeah. He was responding, but you couldn't hear the voice he was talking to.
Does Marius appear to be screaming and reading about?
Now would be a really good time to be immune. Just saying.
Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll.
I'm not doing that.
Is he? Does he look to be in pain?
If it hurts, I'll be trying to style it out, but quickly.
Um,
can't.
Yeah, I mean, he has just taken you've just turned around and he's exploded in fire. This fire has just sort of erupted up him. And yeah, his response is that of somebody who's just been set on fire. It is painful.
well, that's new.
I'm on guard looking for where the fire came from. That's many
Yeah,
dice.
I'd guess. I'm going to step up to him. And why have you not looked in?
Okay.
For fuck's sake? I was going to cast a spell on you, but do you want to speak first?
I was going to say, can I try and disappear into my ring? For
Every
the
time.
safety of
Which one?
Amanita.
Okay. So, as you erupt in fire, it does begin to burn. Your skin is resistant to it. You take an initial 33 halved to 16 points of fire damage as you are initially set on fire, and you instinctively try to retreat within the ring, but there's no space, that dimension that you go to, it's not there.
Can I? I don't know if this
I'm
is going to
guessing that
help.
means
I am going to Ray of Frost to just try and put out the fire.
If you haven't noticed, I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Little help.
Ray of Frost.
Okay, make the attack.
Oh. 10. Right, back to the traditional dice it is.
I can't put it out at the minute, but hopefully this will help. And second level healing word on him.
Okay.
And if I can get in my action then, since he didn't disappear into his ring, I'm going to resort to a typical paladin thing and cast protection from good and evil on him. Because something's doing this to him.
Okay.
You have a protection from fire and mushroom spell.
I rolled really poorly.
If I had protection from fire, I would.
I rolled two ones on my d4s, so you've got 6 points of healing back.
Thanks, Thaddeus.
I cast Stare Gormlessly at Amarius because there's nothing I can do.
I've got a sword and a bunch of combat buff spells.
I can make him light up even more, but that's about it. But...
I could speak with animals at the problem. Don't know if that would work, but...
What happened? We need more information, Amarius. Try and speak to us. Where did this come from?
I'm on fucking fire, Thaddeus.
What has put you on fire?
I'll just be like, all my silks have set on fire now, and I'm just running around the room.
Inconsolable.
Looking at him running, can I see any source for the flames?
I'm on fucking fire.
Why are you... not a good time for a conversation.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know you've got your ring back.
No. So, Mazda, you tried and failed a Ray of Frost.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
rolled
right?
a 10. I'm assuming that does not hit.
Wouldn't hit, no. Savio, you cast Protection from Good and Evil. That's noted. Thaddeus, you did a healing word. Have you got the healing from that, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. Sasha was...
Oh, I've had a new idea. I'm going to whip out a blanket, throw it over him, and try and,
Smother
cut
the
him out.
flames.
Okay. You've now been bagged and pummeled now, Amarius, as well, but still on fire.
I'm
Is there
attempting
anything
to
else?
smother the flames, not smother
Am I allowed to do something else?
Can I see
No,
where...
if you've done your healing word, I suppose it would be a bonus action. Sorry, Banya, what are you going to do?
Can I see what's causing the fire? He's a tiefling. He shouldn't be catching fire like this.
You can make a perception check.
Oh, I'm real good at those.
He on fire. Right. Kroll, were you doing anything?
Oh no, Carl's basically just leaning against the back of the cart with his arms crossed, just watching all this happen. With a sort of smug, I told you this was going to happen if you keep fucking around with stuff, kind of smile on his face.
Right, smug arsehole, look, we got you. Imarius, you hear the other voice telling you to take the ring off, remove it, destroy it.
That's what he wants.
No, he wants you to throw it in the fire. She wants you to destroy it.
Okay, I thought she meant. How do I destroy it?
Nice. Keep with the roleplay there. I like it. It is just a ring.
I will take the ring off and attempt to.
If you are trying to take the ring off, you need to make it with as a dexterity check at disadvantage. because it's small and fumbly, and you're on fire.
On fire.
Sorry, no. I think the phrase is "I'm on fucking fire."
Yes,
I'm on
yes.
fucking fire. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Q Kasabian.
Yeah. 11.
11. Through the agony and the various things that your friends are trying to do to help. Sorry, those quotes were on the wrong bit. Your friends were doing to help.
It's better.
It's too difficult. You can't seem to get hold of it, and you continue to take fire damage. That was 18 halved to 9.
And I'll just shout, "Get this fucking ring off me!"
Sasha, you're closest.
Attempt to yank it off then. That sounded terrible, you know what I mean?
You're yanking
I'm
his
sure
ring
you'd
off.
appreciate that, but it's not the time.
I'm on fucking fire, Sasha.
Roll the reach around.
Sasha, if you are trying to get the ring off of his finger, you can also make a dexterity check, please, at disadvantage.
Dexterity check.
Yeah.
Ugh, 6. I had a
6.
15 in there. So I do have
And-
advantage on dex against effects I can see, but that's only while I'm raging. Never mind.
Yeah. And you take 10 points of fire damage in the attempt.
Can I try something else?
Go ahead.
I'm assuming this is magical, guys. I'm not entirely sure, and I'm going to at 3rd level cast a spell magic on Amarius.
Dispel magic. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-da-da.
The joy of I have an idea, but I rolled in that one perception check.
Okay. Can you make a spellcasting check for me, please?
So I haven't done this in a while, so it's my D20
base-
plus my spell. Is it spell attack or spell modifier?
Would be. Is it a spell attacks with proficiency, isn't it?
But-
Other DMs?
This spell magic it would be just the spellcasting ability.
Yeah.
So for Thaddeus, it would be his wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, so just that.
Okay, so yeah.
Plus 4, 15.
You you cast your magic in the normal way. You feel it go towards Imarius like it's about to just extinguish that flame, but the flame just clings on. Doesn't quite work.
Okay. I have an idea.
Good idea though, Finn.
I've
If
got
I
something.
may.
I'll go after Mazdak.
I would like to use my book to change a ritual spell into an instant spell and cast Unseen Servant and command the Unseen Servant to get the ring off his finger.
Very nice. Okay, let's see. Where are you? Let's check out Unseen Servant.
I've got something in mind if this doesn't work.
So do I, but I don't think he wants me to do that.
Yeah, just cut his fingers off.
We'll say so.
Yep,
save
that was
Salvia
where I
for
was
the
going.
last. Yeah.
I mean, Aldris would just take his hand off, but this is
I have
Mazdak,
no-
so has to be clever.
See, I've reached the realization that I'm resistant to damage from all all spells. So, and have a mechanical arm.
This is very true.
So,
You guys are great in an emergency.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
sorry, it's the nat 1 perception. I never roll with the dice again. Mean.
Okay. Can you roll a dex check, Mazdak? It doesn't really have a stat, so we'll take yours.
No. Dex check. I get a +1.
I'm
Okay.
interested to see if Mazdak can do this. So sort of Pearl would just wind his finger and give him a flash of genius for whatever he's attempting.
Okay,
So
what
he-
does Flash of Genius do?
Plus
Plus
5.
+5. Okay, so I rolled a 14. So with my +1, that's 15. With the +5, it's 20. So if
Okay.
that's good enough, then but I'm also happy for it not to be good enough, because I understand I'm testing the limits of Unseen Servant here.
Yeah, it's a little difficult because it's got 1 hit point. So technically, would it just poof out as soon as it tried, or do
We're about to find out.
Depends
I'm
how
about
quick
to
it
make
is,
shit
'cause
up on the
you-
spot as always.
People do the thing where they like throw their hand in a fire and then bring it out really quickly.
Yeah, but also I'm probably writhing and thrashing around on the floor now at this stage.
Yeah.
Been talking
Actually,
about
that
it
should have
for
been
a long
made
time.
at disadvantage because of said
Okay,
writhing.
no, that's fine.
Uh,
That's a 16
Right.
on the dice, so still a 20.
Okay. Okay. Nice. So it reaches in, manages just to clamp straight onto the ring, and begins to pull it off.
Awesome.
Maybe a good shake, but that's just as the fire just engulfs the servant and it disappears.
That's
But the ring
At this
seems to have been
point-
dislodged from the hand.
Over
Okay.
to you then,
At this
Berger.
point, I'm gonna
It's time for extreme measures.
step in and just kind of go in. I apologize. Hold still, and I'm just gonna get my metal hand, just hold his arm still, and just pull the ring off now that it's been loosened. And I do have, where is it? Aura of Warding, which gives me and friendly creatures within 10 feet of me resistance to the damage from spells. So whether that would affect the fire, I don't know.
Do you consider me friendly?
Not
That's the other
really.
question.
Not really.
I consider you an ally enough to benefit from my aura.
I mean, if anybody would here, it would probably be Bernier and Venice and Thaddeus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unseen Servant is underrated. I remember using it in one campaign to set off a
It
ward on a
actually is.
door and it exploded and killed a load of guards that we were trying to sneak past. Do you remember?
I just remember the zombie infested city and Detect Cheese. And the Unseen Servant wandering about then.
Okay. Just make a strength check to see if you can hold Imarius in place for me.
And is this a straight roll because of my factors?
Yeah. And the DC is set as Imarius' strength score.
I have no idea if I'm in easy or in difficult. So that's let's see. Oh, +3 because strength.
I'm a warlock.
Oh.
I am not strong.
17.
Yeah.
Easy, yeah. You just reach in, grab the arm as he's just writhing about. You just got that arm solid, and you can just pull that ring off the finger.
Is the ring burning hot?
The ring is burning hot.
I would then drop it
Ooh,
after the damage I take.
yeah, there was a roll, but you do get to half this damage for reasons.
Nice.
Pardon me. That was 19, so it was a good job. You get to half that to 9.
Back down to 9.
I'll just shout out, destroy it, but don't throw it in the lava.
A solid distinction.
I'll just kind of.
I'll just reach out and whack.
Yeah, Bernie would hesitate, so.
Sasha wouldn't.
Are you drawing your sword to strike at the ring,
Yeah.
Sasha? Make an attack. The ring is on the floor.
Would you though, because it's Amarius that's told you to do it?
Well, at the
So-
moment,
point.
people are erupting in fire, so you know, we're trying to be inconspicuous. So people on fire, not generally that conspicuous.
Wasn't my fault.
Natural 20 for 28.
Nice.
Someone really likes helping Amarius. Go on, give me some damage. I think you're okay.
Plus, you know, it'll be nice to have something to hold over him.
That isn't a sword.
You still think he's trying to kill you, though?
Difficult to kill someone who's saved your life, though,
Not
No.
really.
or helped.
I feel like that wouldn't stop Marius.
Yeah. not
True.
really.
And we've got your damage.
Have we lost Nat?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Washing machine must be on again.
Could be.
No, it's just my brain.
Callback.
I've seen the 20 pop up.
Yeah. The ones and twos would be re-rolled.
Okay, it's fine. You instinctively
Plus, I didn't
just
roll it as a crit either, so you know.
okay. You're fine then.
I did warn you.
You're good. So as Bernier grabs the hand, pulls the ring, just drops it reflexively, and Marius calls for it to be destroyed, and you just, without thought, pull the great sword and crash down on it on the floor, catching it square in the middle. It
This is
just
what those hobbits should have done.
splits. It's wonderful. Well, Gimli tried, to be fair.
Yeah.
And just cleave it clean in half, and it just falls apart. And there is a feeling of the magic just dissipating from it.
Gonna help Marius to his feet.
As you turn, you do not see Amarius.
Where has he gone? Was there just a little scorch outline where he was?
No, it doesn't look
The
like
ring
it.
was.
Maybe he's retreated into something else.
The ring you just destroyed?
Yes.
Yes, but he didn't have the ring.
Yes.
How did he get the ring back?
I know I'm new, guys, but this is just fucking insane. Bursting into flames just like that.
Yes.
Well, to be
Must
fair,
have
Marius
pissed
does
somebody off.
do fire, generally. I've not actually seen him burst into flames before, though. He did seem to be genuinely surprised by this.
No, it was coming from the ring. The ring was burning hot.
Indeed.
I don't suppose he's ever talked about a patron, has he?
What, like
Patron.
drink
Well-
or something?
Like his-
familiar.
Like what I would call my god. He's a...
Imarius, I don't think
Marius-
Imarius does gods.
No,
He's
no,
not a
but
religious man.
does he get his power from something else then?
The ring, as far as we knew.
Uh,
I mean, with a character like Marius, who knows what kind of shady deals he's made to get to where he is.
I don't know as if he did. He said he was a sorcerer. So innate magic, he said. He didn't mention anything about a patron. Or any deal or anything. He, and I quote, was innately magical. Were his words? So
How
presumably
true?
some kind of natural sorcerer. Affinity with fire, obviously, but anyway, He normally comes back when he's disappeared, so we should press on.
I'm just gonna, in that moment, just use divine sense. See if I can pick up on any trace of his tiefling fiendishness nearby.
Have you ever done that around Amarius before?
I think I did, because I know I did it and picked up Sasha when we were traveling.
You did.
It was recent.
Celestials, fiends, and
It was when we were
wasn't it?
entering the mountain, going into the tunnels, and we knew that there was something out there, and I passed it. 60-foot range.
In 60 foot. You don't pick up on it.
There's no trace of him.
Well, not entirely sure he was truthful about being a sorcerer, if I'm being honest with you. He wouldn't do that to himself, would he?
He does strike me as the kind of man who is very adept at lying, but I don't think he was quite expecting that.
Who knows if Marius is really his real name?
Who knows?
Well, I for one shall miss Bob, but seeing as we can't find him now, we should probably continue on.
Crow will step forward.
yes.
Are the pieces of the ring still hot?
A little bit, yeah. They are cooling though.
I'm going to pull one of my forge mittens out of my bag, put it on, and pick the pieces up, and then sort of pull the mitten down around the pieces and put them back in my bag behind my neck.
Okay. You want to keep his ring, okay? You have the pieces.
You have Amarius's ring.
In
And
several pieces.
I will
Amaris'
turn.
split ring.
I
Never go far.
suspect there was a lack of lube.
You've got too far.
I know. I always do.
And as he's sort of walking back towards Dorgan, he will turn to the rest of the group and say, "Well, y'all were talking about innate magic, but he's innately a liar. Something to bear in mind."
Yes.
And then carries on walking.
Okay. Well. You will move on, free from the burden of Amarius. Amarius,
Yeah.
as your eyes open, you are relieved to see a familiar place. Your homely little pocket dimension, just the way you left it. You're sat in one of those nice comfy chairs. Next to you in the other chair, which you don't ever remember asking for, but people seem to keep popping by, is sat Amanita. She congratulates you on finally being rid of the ex. And
He did have a flair for the dramatic, didn't he? I thought I was the dramatic one.
well, yes, trying to burn you was stupid. Well, now you shall gain your power from me, and it will be different, but
I'm sure it
better.
will be.
I look forward to it.
I look forward to you working for me.
Yes, well, I don't think you could pull that on me.
You saw what I did to the other guy, yeah?
Yes, with my assistance, you couldn't have done that alone, and if you think some other entity will drop in to help you be rid of me, then you are mistaken.
Oh,
But
this is
we
purely.
do not need to be hostile with each other, Jamarius. Sorry. It was
I'll allow it.
We
So-
are to be beneficial to each other.
Where do we go from here?
Well,
Back to the lake, I fear. Sorry.
you can carry on your journey as you were. If you need me, just come in here and ask, and I will hear, and I will be around.
What is going on with the side project we've got going on? The whole I'm getting murdered in the morning.
The deal is now complete. You nor Sasha need to die.
But she doesn't know that, so we could make it worth our while. Maybe you could reappear and make her give you something else. You've always got to be looking for opportunities if you're going to work with me.
Well, I'm not the boots on the ground type. That is what you are for now. If you wish to extort Sasha further, that is up to you. But I will be playing no further part in her.
I didn't think you would be like this. I thought you'd be more fun.
There will be fun. But for now, I have something else I need to focus on.
Okay. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
There are no doors here.
I know.
Spores out.
I will think about rejoining my acquaintances and think, fuck that, I've got another 5 hours in here. 5.5 hours, so I will
Yep.
sink back into my plush bean bags and just chill for a bit.
Okay. Cool. I think that feels like a good place to take a break.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Yes, we will be right back after these messages, which don't exist because this isn't a channel that has adverts. Because smash capitalism, brothers and sisters. Smash capitalism. we're back. We hope you enjoyed the urgings of capitalism to buy lots of shiny things you don't really need. Dear Martin.
So with all the excitement and flames coming to an end, you guys have kind of gone, let's go then, and carried on your merry way
Yeah, well,
with a missing Amarius.
we're used to Imarius disappearing and then reappearing at a later time, so this is fairly normal. The only different thing was him being on fire, but
Yeah.
we've sorted that. Should be fine, right? Probably.
Have we though? I mean, did anyone note that he was no longer on fire before he disappeared?
No.
No.
So he, for all we know, he could still be on fire in this pocket dimension, which is
Yeah,
an
it could
awesome
be.
image.
Yeah, it could be, I suppose.
I wouldn't be on fire in the pocket dimension because these bean bags and silks are way too expensive.
Not that you paid for them.
So, outside of the pocket dimension, Dorgan, who kind of just took a backseat, watching curiously, that was an occurrence.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. Things like this happen all the time.
Hmm.
Is there anything else left? Because sometimes when Amarius disappears, his ring is on the floor. Is there anything else on the floor that wouldn't normally be here, apart from the two halves of the split ring?
The only
A
thing that,
swampy smell or a couple of mushrooms.
yeah, exactly that, Sasha. There do seem to be a couple of mushrooms. You've not seen mushrooms in this cave. There
Are they
are a couple.
normal?
What are they?
They're mushrooms.
We don't get mushrooms in here.
Interesting.
Crawl alert.
Well, you could always do an experiment and chuck them in the lava.
Okay.
Mazdak will pick them up. Are they warm or?
Seem like pretty normal mushrooms.
Okay. Quick sniff.
Fatal spores.
Not pleasant smelling, but
Okay, I will put them in a pocket. Just in case it's Amarius' new mode of travel.
fair enough.
Why mushrooms though?
Who knows? Perhaps.
Let us continue. If
Would he have
he
picked
is
them in the
coming back,
mushroom?
he will find us.
Indeed. He does disappear.
Well, onwards and downwards then.
Okay. Let's go then. And he just picks up the cart and starts wandering. And you continue to follow that. And once you get out of this larger cavern with the pools, there's still a single stream of magma that's following, or that you're following. This is this stream follows straight through to the city, so you just stick with the stream and
Cool.
we'll get there at some point.
So when we get into the city, would it be a good idea for us to find somewhere to hide? Or do you know somewhere where we could hide?
So I was thinking about this. When we get to the city, I think you guys should hide outside. Just stay hidden. There's a wall with a gate, and as long as you guys stay on this side of it, I'll enter the city. I'll go and speak to someone and see if I can organize getting you somewhere to stay, or
Okay.
somewhere where you can hunker down for a short while. My sister, in fact, works at a tavern. That tavern is the one that supplies the food and drink to Jakoto. So that's possibly a way in which
May
we
well
can.
be a good route in.
Yes, that's what I thought.
420 adventurers baked in a pie.
So I think that's probably the way to go.
I wonder how Jakoto handles this heat. She is a bugbear. It is a lot of fur.
Yes, I don't think she likes it, but for somebody as strong-willed as her, I think it was part of it.
I mean,
Well-
there's always magical ways to
Quite.
make things like this a little easier.
I suspect that maybe she has a court wizard who produces some sort of method of rapidly cooling the air around her.
That is not her way. From what I know, I think she tests herself every day
I see.
by
Okay.
surviving it.
Well, I'm sure she'll, as soon as we have a little chat, everything will be okay. We'll resolve everything, and the world will be
Sounds
saved.
to be a dedicated soldier.
Yes, well, quite the skilled warrior as well, as I understand. So you all carry on, and unless there's any specific chatter that you want to engage in.
I don't think so.
Nothing that comes to mind.
In Marius, you can take a short rest if you want to.
Yes, please.
Actually, as we're going, I'm gonna check in my bag, make sure Meglina's doing okay.
I did think about the your little bear.
Is it bearable for you?
Terrible, huh? Can you just make some sort of check for me?
Any specific kind of check, or
Just a
An
random check.
insight check. Just roll a d20 and I'll pick a modifier. Yeah, make it an insight check.
Here's what you could have won.
you roll dice? I'll make it up.
Isn't that it?
Yeah,
It's
pretty much.
like, 19.
19.
16
Okay.
plus
Meglina doesn't seem to be affected at all. You would probably surmise they're under some sort of magical protection from harm. Not like this is an immortal bear, but just, Nagale
Right,
protected.
I'll give him some scritches and just kind of say, "You let me know if anything is wrong."
Okay. So you continue to wander down the path. It does continue to get hotter as you continue on down. When it starts to get to that point of heat that you felt back in that chamber with all the fire, to throw an old reference out there, Dorgan says, we are getting close to the city gates.
Oh.
So we'll make a turn shortly, and if you guys stick to the right-hand side wall, the other side opposite the magma stream, you'll be out of sight of any guards that are possibly there. And then if you just hung up against the outside wall,
How long do you reckon you'll be?
about 20 minutes. I
Right.
won't be long. I will just nip in and speak to my sister.
We'll hold you to that. Thank you.
So yeah, before long, You make the turn, and yeah, the gate's there. There doesn't seem to be any guards on any watchtowers or anything. Once Dorgan leaves you be, he goes and just opens the door. You can see him briefly talk to someone as he wheels the cart in. He says, if anyone speaks giant, I'm not sure, but he just said something about nipping back for some supplies as he wanders in with the cart, and he's then gone for 20 minutes. It's probably about this time that as you are waiting there, just staying comfortable and pretty quiet, there's just this ring of black on the ground that just appears.
Step back from it in a guarded position.
And suddenly, Imarius is stood in front of you.
You're back.
I'm back.
You're no longer on
Are
fire.
you-
That's good.
Are you still injured?
Of course not.
Good.
Why
What
did you
happened
set
there?
yourself on fire?
I did not.
Then who set you on
Sure look
fire?
that way.
Haven't we got more important things to be doing?
Oh, wait.
Well, no, not right now because we're waiting. So you could tell us.
I don't know if you know me, but I don't really like to be the centre of attention. So
I'll just reach into my
Oh, well,
pocket
that's a shame.
and here, I believe these are yours, and drop the mushrooms in his hand.
they are not.
Oh, well, that's what was left behind when you vanished.
Right.
So I presumed they were yours.
And as you sort of have that interaction, Imarius, you look down, the black patch has gone, but there's just a couple of little mushrooms sprouting out of the ground.
I would look down at them, look back at you.
Why don't you write that in your book?
Oh, I don't think I will.
What type of sorcerer did you say you were?
I didn't.
I'm sure you told me you were a sorcerer. Innate magic, wasn't it?
Yes.
Magic comes from within, which is technically and traditionally is a sorcerer trade, where the individual has a inbuilt sort of natural urge for magic and a talent that produces the magic for them. They still have to apply themselves, obviously, to train and get better at it, but it is a natural thing, and that's why we presumed when you said you couldn't read that you were a sorcerer.
I did detect a question in there.
Can we ask this
No,
at the same
it was
time,
a
Mazdak?
statement. Sorry?
Can we? I think we're on the same page here with our way of thinking.
Probably.
Oh God.
I haven't been able to
Two
do
of
this
you.
for some time, so can we say it at the same time?
Say what? Sorry, I'm not.
What we're thinking that if he's not a sorcerer, what he might be.
But
It's
I'm
not a
saying,
fucking game,
but
Thaddeus.
I'm saying that he is a sorcerer. From all the evidence so far.
I don't
The
know. he
way
didn't
I
set
see it,
himself
it
on
does
fire.
not matter where he
Well,
gets his power from,
it's-
so long as he is allied to our cause.
I am for now.
I disagree. The source of the power is my concern.
Sources of power are usually, well, they can be worrying, but I mean, obviously the best source of power is research and applying your brain, and reading books, and learning and studying and practicing.
Well, that's your source of power.
Indeed. So
Books.
that's the best kind of source of power. But there are others, of course. Sorcery is one. There are boons you can get from higher powers, gods, etc., which would generally make you a cleric or a paladin or something along those lines as a servant of a god for power in return for worshipping said god. But then, of course, there are other beings, of course, who tend to make deals with other beings of power, which are generally not gods. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. To agree to serve that power, that being, for exchange of power, which I believe was called. I think what you were alluding to, Thaddeus, would be sort of warlock style.
Warlock, yes.
So, but I mean, nobody would willingly do that, though, would they? I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Well, exactly. It's such a stupid way to get power, isn't it?
Well, indeed, you should apply your mind.
I'll just be smiling at both of them. Are you done?
Well, it's quite an interesting conversation. If you wish to join in, you could, pontificate on the origins of power, why beings that are gods and are not gods, powerful beings, decide to
Let me stop you
gift
there.
those powers. Why? Have you a point to make, or you
No, I don't say anything. I just let me stop you there, and I walk off.
No, actually,
mean,
Maris,
it's-
don't walk off. We're
it's
actually hiding.
Yes, try not to get seen by any guards. We are actually hiding here and waiting for Dorgan to come back.
Oh, okay.
So walking off is probably a very bad move because you could get into an awful lot of trouble.
I'll stay here with you then.
That's
but-
perfect. We can continue our
here we-
discussion.
Yes, exactly. Marvelous.
Can I attempt to try and get back in the room?
You can attempt.
You have no ring.
So, as we were saying, the origins of power. It's long been a mystery as to why beings, powerful beings and gods, etc., would give mortal beings power. This is a source of bafflement for many scholars over the years. And Mazdak just launches off into...
As
Yeah.
this is going on, I'm
I've
going
got
to walk over
screen-
to Amarius.
I've got screensaver face on.
Walk over to Amarius and put my hand on his shoulder. As I say, as long as we remained allied in cause, I have little issue with where you get your strength.
I'm along
But
for
if
the
you have,
ride.
if you have problems, then share them. We can aid you. And
What,
be sure
like-
not to get in over your head.
I saw all of your aid when I was on fire.
Yes.
Are
I'll
you
just
still
kind
on
of show
fire?
him the burn marks on my fingers. We helped you.
Eventually.
Be careful with what you're getting involved with, Amarius.
Or who?
I am fine.
This is a quiet conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We're having
Mazdak is
whilst
still
Mazdak's-
going. So 90% of the quiet conversations, Mazdak has no idea what they're going on because he's busy
No.
talking to someone else at length.
And I'll pat him on the shoulder and say, "You're good," and walk off. I had something in my head and it just went. Sorry, but
Okay. So, after these brief discussions or long lectures, whichever you're engaging in, Dorgan comes back out. He seems to have a loaded cart with him. And he sort of gives a wave to the guard as he comes through and begins to walk up the path, completely ignoring you, before stopping, turning, once the door's closed, and coming over to you, leaving the cart there so it doesn't make a noise. So I've filled the cart up with a few bits, but there's enough space for you to get in. There's a sheet over the top. So if you can go, I'll say, oh no, I forgot to pick up my Scampi Bites or whatever, and I'll
you need
I went
to
to-
see
I went to
the lava
I went to
prawns now.
went to a tavern. These are bar snacks. So yes, there should be enough space for you to get in under the sheet. I'll say I've got something I need to head back, and we'll get you back to the tavern. When we get there, the cellar will be open. There's an outside entrance to the cellar, where of course the beer and the wine is kept and brewed, and we'll get you down into there. I'm told Jakoto is out, had gone off onto a hunting excursion a couple of days ago. He's due back in the morning.
See.
So if you can hide in the cellar for the evening, get a rest, and then perhaps in the morning, when there is a delivery due to go to Jakoto when she comes back, we can get you on that delivery into her chamber.
Thank you.
Excellent plan.
And the fewer giants are involved in this, the better, I think. I know some of you are keen to learn about our culture or speak to some of us, but I don't think that's wise given the current political situation here.
Precisely. Thank you for your aid.
Okay,
Let's
well,
get into the cart.
yes. So yes, this is a very big cart. There's basically 2 stacks of boxes down either side to sort of prop up the sheet going over the top, with a nice big cavity to do it for.
And earthquakes.
Yeah, that's what I get for talking with my hands around a microphone. Yeah, so there's certainly enough space, this nice big cavity for all of you just to sort of slide in. You're going to be a bit cramped, but it took him 20 minutes to get in and out, so it's not a long journey.
Right. Back in tightly, quietly. Let's.
Crow will literally just sort of like speak to Dorgan for a second and then withdraw into his shell. And then Dorgan can just pick him up and put him in the cart.
Yeah, which he does. He has a little look at you and then sort of slides you in.
I'm gonna offer. How high is the cart off the ground? Because I'll offer a hand up to people.
Yeah, it'll probably need a bit of a boost. The wheels on the cart go round and round. Sorry, I'm used to singing nursery rhymes. And the wheels on this cart are like 6 foot diameter, so this is a bit. So the cart
The
itself
wheels
is
are as big as
feet.
Bernia.
Yeah, the wheels are as big as bird. So the car platform itself is probably half that, so 3 feet off the ground. So not too difficult to climb up.
In and
Okay,
hide.
so yeah, all of you get in. Dorgan lifts it up nicely, starts wandering back, gives a bit of a knock on the door. You hear some giantish talk. Does anyone actually speak giant, so I know whether to translate? I know you can master, but that's...
but I need to take 10 minutes to.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, just tell me if you do that. But yeah, all of you hear 2 giant voices, Dorgan and someone else, as they exchange a bit of a laugh and a single word, presumably an insult, thrown jokingly at Dorgan. And then, yeah, proceeds to sort of wander through nicely smoothed path, actually. You'd think it'd be all rocky, given what you've just come down, but lots of heavy creatures walking over rock for a long time has smoothed it out, so it's pretty easy going in the back of the car. Before too long, before it gets too uncomfortable, the car stops and it sort of swivels around sort of 90 degrees, backs up a little bit, and then he sort of leans in the back, lifts up the sheet and says, the cellar door's just there, just go quick. And he sort of backs you up right to this open cellar door.
Hurry quickly down into it.
Yep.
It's a bit of a drop, but not enough.
Thank you, Dorgan.
That's okay. I'll be in soon. And yeah, so once you guys are out and in, you look around this place. It's big. I mean, obviously, it's extremely tall. It's sort of 25-foot high roof, ceiling on this place. But there are rows of enormous wine bottles, and there's these barrels the size of Bervian orangutans in the corner brewing beer. But there's a decent enough amount of floor space tucked around a corner. There's a big staircase on the far side. Yeah. You hear the cart be moved around a little bit. And then you are there in the cellar. Out for a few minutes by yourselves.
So, should we hide underneath the stairs? That's probably the best place to be. Then somebody coming down the stairs won't see us.
Yes, I
Maybe
think
out of sight would be ideal.
No fire, no noise, no messing around.
Exactly.
I wonder if they
So
have a
you wanna go-
library. They have a library here, right? I'm sure they must.
I don't think we'll be staying long enough, Mazdak. Let's get into the hiding spot first.
True.
Muted Crow.
Kral, you're muted.
If we hide under the stairs so we can't see what's coming down, I will send Kez to the far corner to
Okay.
observe.
Fair enough. About 10 minutes go past when you guys are hiding under the stairs, and there's a big set of boot prints on the steps. Kez, can you and Kez talk?
But there would be sort of. He knows to
Well, Kez recognises Dorgan coming down, and then there's a second sound of boot coming down the stairs after Dorgan. And as Dorgan gets down, where are you guys hiding?
and then to crawl with or nudge burn you and sort of venture out.
Right. Well done. Stairs. Good idea. Didn't know where you were. This is my sister. And you look at this much better kept giant. Doesn't have the armaments that Dorgan does, but certainly looks like they take some sort of pride in their appearance, unlike Dorgan, who's been alone for months at a time.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's got this sort of thick ginger hair in very intricate plaits in two ponytails that come down over her shoulders. And she sort of bends down and says, "Hello."
Hello.
Oh,
Thank you
little
for-
people.
Kral will extend sort of one tiny little sort of like claw.
And she just sort of gives a finger for you to
Pleasure.
go.
Thank you for sheltering us for
Yes.
this mission we have.
What's your name?
My name's Katiana.
We appreciate the risk you're taking to help us.
Yes, welcome to our tavern. This is, you won't have seen, proud of this one. This is the Hammered Slag.
I like it.
Best tavern name ever.
It's a nice play on words.
I was very proud when I came up with that one.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's fantastic.
I
That's,
say give yourself inspiration, but I'm worried that if you do,
that's yeah.
Unfortunately,
I'm speechless.
can't give the DM inspiration.
That's the
that's
best tavern
amazing.
name I've ever heard. That's I've thought of some good tavern names myself, but that is just the best thing. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kral appreciates the play on words and just chuckles.
Yes. It was named by our father a long time ago now, but he was a bit of a joker. So, Dorgan says you're trying to speak to the chief.
Yes.
That's right.
Wow. People don't normally choose to do that.
Well, we've been sent on this mission by various different people, beings of power, as it were. At least 2 gods have asked us to come and speak to Jakoto.
Wow.
And yeah.
3.
3?
Yes.
Vestra,
Leosol.
Leosol, and Thaddeus, what's yours called again?
My god hasn't. My god has told me nothing of that, and I haven't said anything.
I think
Persith
Nagale
told,
and
Several.
Persith told
Everil.
did give a message to Severil, who directed the guys towards the Immortals.
And
Leosol, Nagale, and
I was asking
Persith.
the name of the god, not implying that you've been sent to do that.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Fiddy, me being dumb, misunderstood.
But it's fine. Yeah.
so yes, I think we do. It's not really a choice we're making. I think it is an imperative that we do it. It's not. Yeah, we don't really have a choice. It's something we have to do. We want to do it, and we have to do it.
We should avoid turmoil in your lives as best we can.
Yeah, well, that is appreciated. So are you just talking with the chief, or are
That
you...
is the plan.
Hopefully.
Well, yes. She just cause a little bit of a rift between giants. Some
Yes,
accept her as chief, and others don't want a non-giant to be in charge of us.
Yes, Dorgan did explain that things have certainly changed under her rule.
Yes. I was only young when she came here, and I don't remember much before. Yes, it is, yes, strange times I hear from the elders.
Indeed. So hopefully we'll, pop in tomorrow, have a little chat with her. Everything will be resolved. Your Fire Giant Society can go back to normal, and Jakoto will come with us and do whatever it is that she needs to do.
Or you hope to have her leave with you?
Well, possibly. I don't know what the exact plan is, but, information is key.
Unfortunately, all we have been told is to speak with her.
Yes. We are hopeful that she will decide to aid in the saving of the world, as it were.
We're here to deliver a message. It's up to her what she does with the information we provide.
Right.
But the entities who are forcing us this way are becoming increasingly insufferable the longer we take.
So,
Yes,
once again, we
okay.
thank you for your hospitality, and we are aware of the risk you are taking by concealing us here.
Yeah, just don't get me caught.
I will
Please.
try not to.
We will.
Is there a library in the city?
Yes. of
Awesome.
course.
Excellent.
Not relevant, Maztec.
Yes,
we
but
will
nice to
remain
know, and even so, because
Hidden
I like to.
until the morning when we can find our way to Chikoto.
Any books that they have, Mazdak, would be bigger than you.
Yes, wouldn't that be a challenge?
We are going to follow the rules. No fire, no sound, no messing about.
Certainly.
I'll bring down some supplies for you later.
Please
There's
appreciate it.
drink down here, but it's almost all alcoholic. And I'd rather you didn't drink directly from the barrels. So I'll bring something down for you.
I also imagine that giant beer would be a lot stronger than we are all used to.
Oh, yes, I suppose so. Yes.
Water will be fine.
Um,
We need
Yes, the wine is roughly 13 garçons.
Back to this.
You're just having fun making things up now, aren't you?
Tired brain, be stupid.
Well, we'll stick with water if it's all the same. We need to keep our wits about us.
Yes.
Maybe some to take with us to try at a later date. I wouldn't be opposed to that if you're amenable.
I can certainly recommend the brandy. Burvian brandy is the finest, I understand.
I would be willing to sample anything you have on offer.
If we get
We've
out
already tried
Yeah, we've already
Burvian
drunk
brandy.
Burvian brandy. Well, Mazdak hasn't, but you have.
I believe it was rained at
Yes.
you at some
Out
point.
of a cloud.
if we get out of our meeting, okay, then we
Then we will.
will take you up on this, but we will stick with water because we need our wits about us.
I
Exactly.
can certainly provide water for the evening. I will also give you a small, that would probably be large to you, but a small bottle of our homebrew ale that we do here to take with you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
maybe once all of this is over and Jakoto is no longer, not that I'm saying anything to do with that, but maybe one day when the doors are open again, you can come and visit properly.
Absolutely. I will come and enjoy a meal here whilst reading one of the books I've checked out from your library. I may need somebody to carry the book for me, but I'm sure it would be fine.
I'd definitely join you on that one, Mazdak.
Let us rest and prepare.
Okay. And Katiana and Dorgan head back up the stairs. And a short while later, an hour or so later, Katiana comes back down with a rather large tray, half a loaf of bread, and various other things, and a jug of water and whatnot. Yeah, and you are in the cellar.
Nibble on some food, chill, be quiet.
I'm going to find somewhere to find a position under the stairs to sit and take my arm off, and meditate and try and commune with Nagale for guidance.
Okay. Make a faith check for me, please.
I have a faith.
I was the reason this skill was made.
Yeah. And so don't
Because-
fail.
I can't do nature or religion.
Well, it only makes sense.
Ooh. That's fun. This could derail everything. Natural 20 for 24.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, so what are you saying?
I'm just going to, as always, thank her for her protection and guarding, but then ask for guidance on what Jakoto needs to do. What do we need to convince her of? What is our mission here?
Okay. As you sit quietly and try to communicate with Nagale, you feel a small, furry creature just crawl up onto your lap.
Just instinctively with my left hand, just give Meglina some scritches. I assume it's Meglina on my lap.
Yeah. No, it's just one of the basement badgers. Basement badgers?
Basement badger.
Basement badger, basement badgers.
I've got all sorts of places tonight. No, it is Meglina. And they just sort of look up at you with a bit of a tilt to the head, and they begin to talk as if you've cast Speak with Animals, like you have done before, communicated with Medlina. But it's not that same voice. This is the Galde's voice that comes back to you. And she says, "Oh, Bernia, even deep in the mountain, your faith is strong, I'm pleased to see. I hope you're doing well. I'm certainly proud of the steps you've been making."
In holding strong, leading those around me. Though I am nervous for what is to come.
Yes, Jakoto is a difficult creature to predict. What I would say is that she is a proud warrior, much like yourself. And she respects other warriors. I would expect her to only speak to you, give you any real information if you impress her in combat. Not just you, I mean, one-on-one. No. All of you. And she knows she is above and beyond mortals. As yourself, she would never expect to be impressed by a single combatant, but a group of people working together. She was a leader, like, again, yourself, for a long time. And she likes to see people working, fighting together for a cause, as she did for a very long time. I think that would impress her and maybe get her to open up a little.
I see. I trust in the strength of those around me.
It will not be easy.
Nothing is.
Nothing worth having is, at least.
Precisely. Thank you.
Be well, my Bernia, and I am proud of you. And suddenly, Medlina just sort of snuggles back down in your lap.
I'll just give him some scritches and just kind of sit there and just relax.
Yep. There's a creature in your lap. You may not move. These
No.
are the rules.
Bernard's not allowed to stand up for several hours.
At least.
Get ready for some dead muscles. Legs, bum cheeks,
Everything.
everything.
The next morning rolls round and Megan is still there. It's like, well, see you later, Bernia. We have to go.
Thaddeus is actually quite amazed because I think, my memory, playing this, is the first time that Thaddeus has seen Bernia take her arm off. It's just kind of like, not too protruding in it, but it's just kind of like, basically.
Only wouldn't take any notice. She's far too busy with Meglina. It's important.
Small fairy creatures. They're the best.
Yeah. So, yes, you've got food and refreshments. You've got a place to stay for the night.
Mazdak will just open books because Chaz is an idiot and had not prepared all the spells that I should have prepared. So Mazdak is leafing through his books trying to find interesting spells that he could add to his repertoire for the next day.
Yeah, I think Thaddeus is after just taking that in from Bernia. Everything in what's happened so far. Is going to go to his backpack and take out his herbalism kit and going to try and make some healing potions.
Okay. Okay. Sure on the rules of making healing potions.
There's also proficiency with this kit is required to create antitoxin and any potion of healing, but I don't know.
Okay. I'd assume you need certain materials, or is it all contained within the herbalism kit?
I think, like, the way I don't know, like,
Yeah.
but the way I'm looking at it is that it's a herbalism kit, so it's a kit what comes with herbs.
I think
the
with a
bits.
herbalism kit, usually you can make the potions for like half the price that they would normally be if you bought them.
Okay. I'll look that up and let you know before.
Yep.
get set.
That's cool.
But I've never found anywhere that's sort of done it, reliably.
Yeah. Okay. I'll look up, see what other people are saying. If not, I'll make something up and we'll sort it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell me to fuck off if you want. If I need to actually get like,
Oh, can I?
well, anybody can at any point.
There's an alchemist subclass of the thingy, isn't there?
I mean, I think with what I always used to do was herbalism kits, because it gives you advantage on rolls to identify herbs and the use of herbs and things. I would say that it doesn't actually contain herbs itself. It's usually you gather the herbs and use the kit to make the potion.
Yeah. A jeweler's kit doesn't contain jewels.
Quite, exactly.
Oh yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's me.
but
Okay, maybe
again, DM, you're the DM, you can rule whatever way you see fit. But that would be my way of looking at it as a DM. That's
Okay.
Not to say that's wrong or
think
right, but that's what I would do.
The description of it as an item just says that it contains a variety of instruments such as clippers, mortar and pestle, and pouches and vials. Nothing about having herbs in it.
Pouches that hold herbs, what you need?
Pouches for you to put herbs you find in.
Yes.
Lots of herbs on a frozen mountain.
Got a
I'm
few
sure.
mushrooms.
Yeah, I was just going to say, see if Marius could provide some.
Yeah. Marius could provide many mushrooms, I'm sure.
While the
I'm
others are
blanking
doing-
out the mushrooms.
Yeah, while the others are doing their things, I'm going to take a spare set of my tools, and then I'm going to spend the next hour using my right tool for the job feature to magically change them into a woodcarver's tool set.
Okay.
So anybody looking at Kral would basically just see him sort of like picking up and sort of magically resculpting each of the set of tools into a woodcarver's kit.
Cool. Are you going to use those tools? Kit
Not,
or anything?
not currently, but they will remain as a non-magical set of tools until I use the feature again. So I'm just preparing, because I've done a lot of planning in terms of what I'm going to do with this crossbow to alter it. It's just that I need the tools present to do it.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, if you need wood, you're currently sat under a wooden staircase.
Probably best not to dismantle the giants that are sheltering us to their wooden staircase to their cellar.
Well, to be fair, if I am going to weaken,
It wouldn't be a wooden staircase, would it? Why would there be any wood here at
It
all?
would be stone, but presumably.
If it was, all we'd do is weaken a certain step and just make sure that a certain a particular person goes under it. So when the giant comes down, smush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So these are talking about you.
So, yes, you can spend the evening doing what you want, watching tools or talking with bears, reading books, whatever you're doing. You can settle down if you want to take watches. You can set watches. But I'm not going to... We don't really need to roll through all that.
I would imagine that Bernia would have us do watches anyway because we're in a hostile territory.
I would expect so, yes. But yeah, unless there are any specific conversations anyone wants to have, nothing much happens through the night.
Okay.
And so, yes, we'll get to the morning. You can all take a long rest.
Hey.
And that's where we'll finish for tonight.
Fair enough. Cool.
Next week we get to meet her. Last.
Yes, indeed. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it'll just be like a 5-minute conversation and Mazdak will convince her to,
Of course.
hand over the reins of the fire giants to whoever.
Yeah.
Voriel
I mean-
second in charge, so he would take over.
I'm going to go with Katiana. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Just persuade Jakoto to name Katiana as her successor, and she will come along with us, and we will fight all the evils, and we will win the day, and that will all happen next week.
The Parliament can be established in the Hammered Slag.
Yep, absolutely best
Yep.
tavern name ever. That's just genius. It's so cool. Well done. I applaud.
It was
For sure.
it's just amazing.
An inspired choice.
If you're going to do Parliament in the Slag, you need to make sure you have Horum rather than Quorum if you're going to take a vote.
Well, to be fair, it's the perfect tavern to go if you've been hammering slag all day, or if you want to hammer a slag after a tough day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Cool.
well, we know it's that kind of establishment upstairs.
But the thing
Yeah,
is,
I mean, if you want to hammer a Hammered Slag after hammering slag, where
indeed,
else are you going to go?
I mean,
I think we've
I'm
got our
assuming
advert.
the speaker for the Parliament that's being held in the Hammerslag would just go, "Shut it, you slags!" when people are getting out of control. I'm
Yeah.
sure that's what
None of
happens.
this John Burko order business.
No. Shut it,
Shut
you
it, you
slags!
And then they would have some conveniently placed pieces of slag on hand to
Yeah.
throw at
Yeah,
people
to
who don't
hammer.
shut it.
Absolutely. To hammer it, yeah. Nice. But yeah, that was really good fun. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank you.
playing. We will, of course, be back here on Tuesday for the easygoing pirate campaign known as the Elusive Tide, where nothing of danger ever happens, ever.
No
And
fuckery.
everybody's completely straightforward and there are no secrets. Good. Excellent. Glad we got that sorted. And we will, of course, be back here next Sunday to determine what happens when Jakoto is persuaded by the investigators to go and do the good things that's happening with no violence whatsoever.
We're not going
Probably.
to get our asses handed to us at all.
Absolutely not. It'll be absolutely fine. 5-minute conversation tops. 10 minutes tops. Okay? So, as ever, if you enjoyed it, thank you very much. Smash capitalism and
And hammer slags.
hammer slags, most importantly. You slags. If you didn't like it, really? You didn't like it? With the hammered slag as a pub name? Jesus. Something wrong with you. Bye.